Just because your camera is weatherproof doesn't mean it's practical to film in the rain. Let's find out. Hey, what's up guys? It has been a while since I made a video for you guys on this channel, and as much as images may deceive you, we're not doing a software tutorial at the moment, even though I'm in my software tutorial setup. But my country is having a little bit of a lockdown at the moment, so I can't bring out my assistant to help me in the field when I'm filming out and about in the wilderness. Additionally, kind of a double whammy, we've got a big storm for the next week or two, so I can't film in my studio space because it has a metal roof, and metal and rain does not go well with recording sound. So here we are. I've got a rain loop in the background, I've got my coffee to the left of me. We're going to talk about a subject close to my heart, the rain. Because if there's one thing that my country has, outside of the best flag in the world, of course, because look guys, save your YouTube comments, my country's flag is a dragon, you can't beat it, alright? It's the rain, and my country rains a lot. So I'd like to think that I've become quite adept filming in the rain from a low budget standpoint. So let's have a look at a few tips on doing so. So first of all, why are you filming in the rain? And I'm not saying this in a malicious sense, but we need to assess why you are filming. Is it simply because there is 2 weeks of rain ahead of you and you want to get the shot done regardless? Or is it because of a story motivation? This particular scene of your short film needs rain. If it is that, then I have to say, unfortunately, it's more than likely that you're not going to be able to correctly capture rain in camera. There is a reason as to why TV and film tend to use artificial rain rigs, and it's not just because they can control the rain on a whim. Take a look at this sequence where I've had to stop the action for a moment to wipe the filter clean. It is tipping down here. We were both soaked, but you can only really see the rain in the darkened areas of the characters' costumes. Everywhere else looks misty. Why? If you notice in films, in a daytime sequence, when it's raining, it's usually torrential rain instead of a light shower, and that's because the rain rig can produce larger droplets at a faster rate to crowd the scene for more rain. But for natural rain, especially on an ambient overcast or dark day, it's highly unlikely that you're going to be able to properly capture those raindrops. It's going to be too small and too fast at 24 frames per second, so it's going to become nothing more than a blur. However, if it is of the utmost importance for your shot to have visible rain and you can't afford an artificial rain rig, move your shot out towards the night and look to compose your shot against some hard light such as a street light or some car headlights, and use it as a hard backlight to make that rainfall more apparent against the darker areas of the image. Additionally, if you must film in the day and you can't afford to backlight the rain, look to frame your shot where you can visibly see the rain interacting with a surface. This could be a car roof, some puddles, and so on. You will see the impact, which will visually indicate to the audience that it's raining. Of course, you could always gun to throw in the occasional slow-mo shot to grab a better representation of that rainfall. So you still want to go out and film in the rain, but you're worried about your camera getting wet. How can we get around that? Now, I might hear some of you say, Lewis, my camera is weather sealed. What does that exactly mean? Most moderately expensive cameras are going to be weather sealed, but from manufacturer to manufacturer, their description of weather sealing differs. So there's never really a concrete definitive answer to what weather sealed means. First of all, weather sealed does not mean waterproof. It wouldn't be advised to go and take a weatherproof camera down into the local lake. In general, it's going to mean that there's a sealing to the ports, joints, to the buttons, to the camera body, with rubber to reduce exposure to moisture and dust. However, how beneficial is that for filmmakers when typically a weatherproof mirrorless camera is more for the stills element, because there are a few setbacks to using a wet camera, such as the touchscreen acting sporadically, which isn't going to be great if you're trying to use the touchscreen to note an area for the focus to track onto. An electric viewfinder's eye sensor may act erratically in heavy rainfall, so be sure to turn that off, because you may be looking at your monitor and all of a sudden the image cuts. Additionally, in most circumstances, ports are also going to become inaccessible, so if you open up a weather sealed port to attach an external monitor, a microphone, or maybe even storage, you're not really going to be able to use those. And I mean, just in general, weather sealed doesn't mean it's okay to leave your camera out in the pouring rain for hours on end. You're still going to want to aim to keep your camera dry. So how can we do that in a low budget sense? Well, you want to look at picking up something like these. They're called rain sleeves, and they're going to help protect your camera from the rain while also giving you full functionality without the camera getting wet. This is the $5 budget version, in which they cover your camera, allow you to mess with the controls and film with ease. Now, I was using something like this in the shot you saw earlier, and I have to be honest with you, they can be a pain. Instead, I would recommend doubling your budget, which is just $10, and pick up a fabric rain cover. These wash off the rainfall like a waterproof coat, and in this particular version, it has 2 sleeves that allow me to get in and adjust the settings. And instead of essentially just being a sandwich bag that you have to push your camera through, this particular model has a protruding section to cover the lens and lens hood adequately. Now, if you're taking video and your camera is weather sealed, I still entirely recommend picking up a rain cover. It's going to be a lot more beneficial in the long run. If your gear is protected, well, make sure you are too. Look to pick up a breathable waterproof jacket to keep you dry. I would love to say that I wear my red North Face jacket to represent the Shutterstock colours, but it's to keep me dry if I'm caught in a freak shower here in Wales. Additionally, you're going to want to make sure that this crosses over into your trousers and boots also. Now, while I'm not entirely an advocate for spending an excess amount of money on clothing, I do find that in this mountaineer range, or adventurer range, I guess you could say, the more you do spend is the more you get back for your money. So just bear that in mind when shopping. Anyway, I've been Lewis with Shutterstock Tutorials. Next time, I hope to be out in the wilderness, rain or sun, and I'll catch you guys next time.